Now you got us. Okay. Coach Spag, we got you. We can see you. We are ready to go when you are.
Okay. Happy to be on, talk with you all. Happy, obviously, about the way the game went. It's kind of in the rear view mirror right now, as you guys know, because we're on to the next one. But be happy to talk about either yesterday's game or the Chargers. And with that, I'll open it up.
Let's go first to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, appreciate the time here, Coach. I'm curious. I know he went down with the injury, but what did you see from Trent in the snaps that he did play? Didn't hear a lot of his name on the broadcast, but what did you see from your perspective?
Well, I thought he was real solid. What was challenging for us a little bit was because they did some tempo, was getting the calls, and I think that was a little bit new to Trent, and there was, that was a little bit of a struggle early. But once we got that calmed down, I thought he did a nice job. It was unfortunate, the play he got hurt on was kind of the grass gave. The turf was a little bit loose there, and he pulled the hamstring. We'll find out where he's at with that. But was really happy with how Jalen went in there and did what he did. They challenged him right away, which is real good teams do, and he made that play down the sideline, which was good to see.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach. Yeah, Aaron asked specifically about Trent, but really all those rookies across the board. What did you kind of see from them as a group and individually in their first performance yesterday?
Yeah, again, now I zipped through the film on the plane, to be quite honest with everybody, and then moved on to the Chargers. But and I was looking things more as a unit and a group and how we function. But Brian Cook stuck out in a couple of things that he did. He made some tackles. Certainly Jalen going in and Josh having to go in a little bit. I thought they all did a nice job. George was solid. He came right up to me after and said, gave me the 2 or 3 things that he did wrong, which is George. He's always gonna try to get better, but I thought he helped us a little bit. Who would I been missing? Leo got in there and got a couple of snaps in our base defense, and then some at the end when we got ahead. I think more than anything, it was just good that they got first game jitters out of their system. They got a couple of reps, under their belt, and hopefully that'll help us in a quick turnaround to playing on Thursday.
Let's go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Coach, just overall your thoughts on the pass rush. I know you guys overhauled a number of different things, and as well as just the general pass rush. But I know Chris didn't get a sack, but just the kind of the disruptive force that he was in general as well.
Yeah, there's some hidden production there from Chris Seren. Obviously he tipped that one, which was huge. And there's a couple others in there where you see him, pressure the middle of the pocket, and, Kyler Murray had to move around, and that helps us. It extends the down, the guys extend their coverage, et cetera. So I thought Chris played really solid. He had the fumble. We couldn't come up with it. And then overall, as a pass rush, I thought the guys were relentless in their pass rush. I thought Carlos Dunlap got his sack because he just kept rushing the passer. And we preach about that all the time. Pass rushers keep rushing the passer. And if your coverage is good on the back end, you can find a way to get the quarterback on the ground. Now, the guy we just went against, he's pretty slippery. So it didn't show up in the stat column with stacks and all that. But to get him to run around and off timing wise, I think was a good thing for us.
Let's go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Coach, I know you mentioned you're already on to the next one. The next one is the big one, right? You've got the Chargers coming in here. They looked pretty good yesterday against the Raiders, in particular the quarterback. I know it's only one game this year, but what's he looking like as he's kind of progressing through his career?
Yeah, I have him and have had him since he got in the league as one of the top guys. He just gets better and better. And it's a different quarterback challenge, right, Todd? It's not the smaller, quick. Now, this guy can be elusive, but he's got the whole package, in my opinion. From the chin to the hairline, he's really smart. That's why they do a lot of things with him. He's big and can throw over people. He really takes a hit because he gets rid of the ball. He gets them in and out of bad plays and into good plays. So what you're doing on the back end as far as disguises is really important. And I think with the weapons he has, and I know, there's a possibility he might be down with one of his weapons, but I think he utilizes them all really well. He spreads the ball all over the field, and that's what makes it a challenge to defend these guys.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Steve, congrats on the first win. I was curious, when you're able to contain Kyler Murray, and I know he had the 21-yarder, so without that, it's under 10 yards. What kind of confidence does that give you moving forward, just given the fact that there are a lot of these dual threat quarterbacks in the NFL?
Yeah, it's funny when you can go, 3/4 of a game and contain a quarterback, quote unquote, and then all of a sudden when they spring that one, it's a backbreaker, and it did lead to points for them. So, our goal was to not have that happen at all. But I was excited about the fact that we did, collapse the pocket, kept them caged on a number of occasions, and I think there was a few balls there he threw away, which was a good win for us. But yeah, we are going to see a lot of these guys. I think the next guy we're getting ready to play is a really good athlete. I mean, just because he's 6'4", 6'5", or whatever he is, we don't take away the fact that this guy is athletic, and if he wants to pull it down and run, he's pretty good at that too.
Go next to Todd Lebo again. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on just like football today, right? I mean, the Cardinals went for several fourth downs. We know what the Chargers have done, going outside the box. Have you guys gotten kind of in that rhythm now to know that you don't just, put your hand up and walk off the field after you get a third down stop? You got to be ready for anything.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. And Mike Frazier, who does a lot of statistics for us here, before this last game, I want to make sure I get this right. I think he said in the last 3 years, we have faced the second most fourth downs, something like that. It's been a lot of them. And that's because of the way the league's going, number one, right, Todd? And I also think it's a little bit of part of our offense and the threats that we have, and they don't want to give the ball back to our offense. So we have talked about it extensively throughout training camp and in the offseason here. We'll talk about it every week. We actually begin with fourth down early in the week for that reason, and then try to get a couple of reps in practice. But yeah, we're going to see them always because of who we are and because the league is going that way. And certainly this particular head coach loves to go for it on fourth down.
We'll go two more. We'll go Sarin and then Nick to close us out. Go ahead, Sarin.
Coach, you touched on a little bit about how you looked at the film on the way home and you're on to the Chargers, but how much does it condense the schedule? What do you have to back off on the players? Obviously, you don't have as many days, so I know there's not as many practices. But then also, how much of this game, since you get it as the second game, were you able to maybe prep before even the game got going without trying to confuse everyone? How's that all coming together?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Sarin. You try to do the dance where you're, quote unquote, preparing for two teams. You don't want to overlook the first opponent. But I thought Coach Reed did a great job with us coming off of the Green Bay game. We had a week in there where we had a chunk of time where we could focus on something else, not necessarily just Arizona, and then get back into the Arizona swing the following week. And when we did that, both sides of the ball did focus a little bit on the Chargers. So in some regards, we got ahead, and we really certainly need it now. This is quite a squeeze to go from Sunday to Thursday, especially traveling and getting in late last night. We won't do very much today. But we did do that dance, and I thought the coaches did a really good job of it. I think it's helping. I just come out of a meeting now doing some first and second down. We're on the third down. It'll be short yardage and goal line later on. And before you know it, tomorrow we'll be working on red zone. So it's fast. We did do the work. We'll try to make sure that we don't give them too many different things to think of. And yet we have to have a twist or a turn here a little bit to try to throw the Chargers off. So there'll be some changes.
We'll go last to Nick Jacobs. Go ahead, Nick.
Steve, I'm curious for you with what you've been trying to translate to these guys in training camp to build the identity that you want. What did you see that translated on the field yesterday with the defense?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about being an attitude defense, and that attitude being relentless and physical. And I thought the guys brought that. We played fast on a lot of plays. The only times I thought maybe we didn't do that is when maybe there was a little bit of a miscommunication. But we kind of made up for any miscommunication with making some plays. Chris knocking the ball down, somebody coming free on the inside and getting the quarterback to pull it down and not throw it on time. I did like the way they played like that. I think we need to continue to do that. I think this group gets confident when they play fast. We did simplify it for them going into the game. We'll try to continue to do that because I think we play better that way. And yet, every once in a while, put a little nugget in there to throw off the opponent we're playing.
Coach Spags, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
You got it.